Welcome to PTSD, Bunker Gear for your brain. I'm your host, Carl Waggett, and welcome to the evening PTSD report. Guys, happy Friday to each and every one of you. I do hope you've enjoyed your week. Me personally, I had a banging week. You want to know why? Well, guys, it was a week of wags, yes. And this is the one time where I get to jump back in the old filing cabinet and pull out my most embarrassing stories. Anyways, look, it works out good for you guys, not so good for me. But the fact is that, guys, if you look at the mistakes that I've made and you do the complete opposite to what I did, you should be okay. Yeah, no, that's the way it works out. So since I don't have a time machine, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I do. I kind of pay it forward a little bit. And you know what? Let you guys know that there's a big dark hole there. Don't jump in it, whatever you do. So really what the theme of the week has been is, well, pain management. Right? That's really what we've been looking at. Because this depression, anxiety, PTSD, look, it's going to throw a whole whack of pain at you. And the problem is if you don't know how to manage it correctly, gulp, 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 gulp. Not that I've done it, of course I have. The fact is that this is going to make your life even more painful, right? So really what I wanted to do was bring to the table stuff that will help you with this pain that depression, anxiety, and PTSD brings to you. Okay, so look, in Monday Night Show, what we took a look at is this whole reinventing yourself. And guys, look, I got to be honest with you. This is a superhero power. Yes, every human being has it. Do you see? Humans are interesting. They can improve the quality of their existence here on this planet simply by applying education. That's it. Yeah, humans are the only ones that can do this. Dogs can't do it. Parrots can't do it. I'm pretty sure trees can. Human beings are the only ones that can do this. And look, here's a great example. Let's say you've always wanted to learn a language. Like, just pick a language. You've just always wanted to learn one. But you know what? You decide you're going to do it, and that's all there is to it. So after 3 months of studying, maybe an hour a night, you know, those websites you see on CNN about learning a new language, you could actually teach yourself a new language. It's incredible when you think about it. You know what? Even if it didn't bring you any extra money, it didn't improve your job at all, wouldn't it be fun if somebody started yelling at you at work and you lost your shit on them in Spanish? I think that would be incredibly entertaining. Think about how funny that would be. And then when they figure out it's Spanish, not only did you take 3 months, but you took 6, and then you start yelling at them in Russian. They'd think you were possessed. It'd be fantastic. The fact of the matter is that human beings can reinvent themselves. And where I think this pays huge dividends is with depression, anxiety, and PTSD when people feel they get boxed in and there's no way out. Because I think that is the most disturbing thing, when you can't see a way out. And when you can't see a way out, guys, that's when you start losing hope. So, you know, this reinventing themselves, just kind of suggesting it and letting people know that this is possible. And guys, like I said, not for a second am I telling you to quit your job and go find a new job. No, this is doing shit on your own time. Yeah, you know, and just instead of just sat there like I was, a miserable bump on a log, well, we can be reinventing ourselves in whatever capacity we so choose. And I think that's what's so much fun, because, well, what you're going after, you're chasing. So, okay, let's say you're one of those poor buggers that have got yourself down in that box, okay? And you can't find a way out of it. And not only that, you don't feel like talking to people. Well, on Wednesday night, we came up with a bit of a solution for that as well. Because, guys, look, if you've had it with people, like you've absolutely thrown the towel in, you've given up on them, I'd put a pet on that job. Yeah, that's no shit. There's something about animals. And you know what? Dare I say, well, they talk to us, don't they? Now, look, I don't want the big guys coming in with the white jackets to take Carl to that very cozy padded room, I might add. But the fact is look, I think everybody knows that, well, animals talk to us in some weird way. And not only that, well, they can sense pain. Like, you could be having the worst day in the world. Your spouse could be sat over there, not have a friggin' clue that you're in any pain. But I'll tell you, when that animal looks at you, it knows. I don't know how it knows, but you know what? It knows, and it's something that I think you should look into. So anyways, what have I got for you tonight? Well, look, I'm sorry. I had to save the best for last, because what I'm going to talk to you about tonight, guys, I could travel across the country telling people about. I really think it's that important. Now, please understand, I didn't come up with this concept, you know, just because I'm quite clever and I had nothing going on a Thursday afternoon. No, this came out of absolute pure desperation. That's how I came up with this concept. And guys, I want to take you back to when I first went off work, because the reason I talk about that time so much is, well, that was the most painful. Right? And I think if we can make that time less painful for people, well, I think we've won. You know what I mean, right? It just helps a little bit. So anyways, the fact of the matter is that, look, my life was shit, right? And I didn't know how to fix it. So the thing is that I wanted to accomplish something that at the time I thought was, well, Impossible. Impossible. Impossible? I just made that up. I'm bad for that. You got to watch me. I thought the task that I was going up after was simply impossible. So you know what I thought? Well, I'll just copy off people. Yeah. Oh, don't be a nerd. We're not in school anymore. Seriously, that's what I did. I started researching really successful people. Not necessarily famous. I'm talking successful people. Yeah, you know, when the teacher wasn't looking and Bill Gates was looking the other way, I copied off his paper a little bit. Whatever. Don't hate me, right? Desperate times calls for desperate measures. And the fact is, I needed some kind of a game plan. So like I said, I didn't really research famous people per se. I researched people that went up against something that they didn't think they could accomplish. Okay, because that was the formula that I was after. And I thought if I study these people enough, well, you know what? I'll come up with some kind of game plan. Or anyways, it's better than what I've got right now. So really, that's what I did. And like I said, these people that I studied, these are people that kind of walked to their own beat. You know what I'm talking about? They went off the beaten path and they really truly went after the stuff that they loved in life and were passionate about. And I think we can all appreciate, guys, it takes a lot of guts to do that, right? To go against the grain and do what you truly love, regardless of what anybody says to you or about you, and just keep pursuing that. Guys, that takes a lot of guts. For the simple reason, there's a lot of people out there that have tried this. Oh, yeah. And you know what? They try it, and they try it, and they try it, and then life smacks them in the mouth one day, and they go, oh, shit, that hurt. And they give up. Right? And a lot of people do this. This is a very common thing. And you know what? The example that I'm talking about is, okay, let's say somebody wants to start a YouTube channel, all right? And they go balls to wall for the first 6 months, but then after 6 months, they realize they only have 58 subscribers, and they're not a YouTube millionaire. So you know what? Quite frankly, it's just too much work, so they quit. This is what happens to a lot of people when they go up against something that's monumental. The problem I found is that was my view on life. Yeah, it wasn't worth it anymore. You know, it wasn't even like a business venture. It was just life in general. Just, I don't know, just didn't seem worth it. It didn't seem worth the fight, if you will. And guys, that is so against my nature. It's silly. Well, quite frankly, it scared me, yeah. So, like I said, here I am at the stage of my life where I'm off work. And guys, I can't stress this enough. I didn't even believe in this mental health, PTSD, depression, whatever you want to call it. Look, I didn't have a clue what was going on with me. I really didn't, right? I was just kind of being pushed around. Okay, right, I'll take the time off, whatever. I'll go off work. Like, I didn't have a clue what was going on. The only thing that I knew absolutely for sure, I couldn't stay here. There was no way. This was killing me. I knew this. All right, this was absolutely crushing me. So you know what I did? I got a piece of paper out and a pen. Oh, I took this very seriously. And what I did was I wrote down all the things that were a mess in my life. Like, seriously, this wasn't the easiest thing to do. I have to admit, it took a while. So anyways, after I wrote everything down, you know, the fact that I was off work and, you know what, I was worried about what people thought about me going off work for this mental health, you know, relationship problems, all this shit, right? I wrote it all out. And, you know, I kind of stood back and I looked at it and I went, well, it's a fucking mess, right? I mean, it's a mess. I mean, there's no way I can pull out of this nosedive. And I mean, I'm laughing about it right now, but at the time, guys, this wasn't funny. Like, I couldn't understand. Bottom line, the task that I was going up against seemed too monumental for me to do. That's if I was to translate it, that's the emotion that I felt. It was just too big of a fight, and I couldn't figure out how to do this. Well, the problem is I'm such a stubborn son of a bitch. I really am. Like, to a fault. Look, anybody who's worked with me knows when I want something, I fucking want it. Like, I really, really want it. And I won't stop until I get it. So this is what I did. I thought, screw it. I'm going to school on these guys. Right? So I sat down with my buddy Google here, and with about 4, 5, 6 cases of Monster energy drinks, that stuff's the devil's play. I'll tell you, you want to stay off that, but I'll tell you what, there's no sleep. And all I did was research. And that's what I did. You know what? I looked at these people, and I saw how they accomplished whatever they set out to accomplish. Right? Whether it was fame, whether it was fortune, whether it was a Pulitzer Prize, it didn't matter. The fact was that I took people that went up against incredible odds, and I tried to, well, for lack of a better term, draw out a game plan so I could do the exact same thing. Well, look, there's one thing that I learned. There's a lot of cool people out there. Yeah, like, you have no idea. Like, there are people out there with stories that they'll never make movies about, but fascinating human beings. Hey, did you know Richard Dreyfuss suffers from bipolar? I didn't know this. Do you remember him in Close Encounters of the Third Kind with the potatoes? Incredible actor. And don't get me started on Jaws. Oh my God, he was fantastic. I even liked him in Stakeout with Emilio Estevez. He's a fantastic actor. But the thing is he came up against a lot of obstacles in life. And just reading about these people, well, not only did it give me a game plan, but he was inspiring as all get up. I remember one weekend, all I did on the Bunker Gear for Your Brain page was put up famous quotes from people who have overcome stuff. I'm sure I bugged the shit out of everybody because I put one up like every 5 minutes for like 10 hours on both days. But what I really started to learn was that these guys, well, they set themselves up, don't they? Right? They kind of go against things a little bit different than what most people do. And they look at this overcoming major obstacles a lot different than, well, what the masses do. You see, there's one thing that I found with every successful person that I researched, right, was that they all had this one thing in common. Yeah, and it was really, really strange. And it didn't matter who it was, they had this in common. The one thing is their mornings were absolutely sacred. Yeah, no, you did not mess with these people's mornings. They used these as absolute sacred times to get ready for whatever they were taking on. Me personally, I fucking hated mornings. Oh my God. I almost wrote to the Prime Minister to try to take him out of the whole schedule. Seriously, I felt they were unconstitutional. I don't know. I'm just making all that shit up. But the fact is the mornings were my nemesis. Seriously, I didn't want anything to do with these things, right? But these people that are successful, like I said, they're different than the masses, right? They don't think the same way. You know, one thing that I really noticed with successful people that really wanted to obtain a goal was you won't find one of them that just woke up in the morning at whatever time they felt like it, you know, didn't prepare for the day and just kind of threw themselves out there and kind of volleyed whatever showed up. Like it just never happened. I mean, oh, listen, don't get me wrong, okay? There's YouTube stars out there like that. And, you know, there's .com millionaires, if you remember those guys, and even guys that made a mint on the Bitcoin, right? Please don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about success that is sustained for a very, very long period of time. Trust me, these people value their mornings because that's what they do is they set their day up for it. So look, the more that I researched this, the more that it made sense, the more that I went, oh shit, right? Because like I said, I hated mornings. And the problem is I felt like I couldn't catch a break because look, mornings were really tough for me, right? They're really, really tough. But here's the thing, guys. I didn't know how to use mornings. Okay, and that's really where the rubber meets the road here. Look, it's not a matter of just getting up early just because the universe is going to give you good shit. No, the thing is that, guys, we need to use these times. And that's exactly what these successful people do. Okay, all these people that want to accomplish these major tasks, they understood that obviously common sense states that they were not going to accomplish it in one day. Okay, they knew that, right? So they had to build on their accomplishments. And the thing is what these guys would do, these men and women, is that they would catapult from one day to another to get towards their goal. The same kind of theory as if we took a hill that had a 45-degree angle and it was 100 yards, okay? Which way would be harder to ride up that hill? Just all in one shot, put your head down and just keep pedaling, right? Or pedal every 5 feet, get off, get back on, pedal 5 feet, get off, get back on. You know what I'm talking about, right? So the fact is that there's absolutely no momentum. And the thing is that these successful people, they use this theory because they springboard off morning to morning to morning. Because what you have to understand is these people are not just trying to survive. Well, they're chasing something. And there's a huge difference in life there. And you'll notice that. When you're just trying to survive, you just try to get through it. But when you are actually trying to accomplish something, well, guys, you chase it, don't you? Yeah. And that's what these guys do. And they utilize the mornings to set themselves up. So guys, like we were talking, these guys have a major, major goal that they want to accomplish. So what they do is they break it down into manageable pieces. Yeah. Like let's say one of their goals is they want to get an Oscar. Well, the thing is they understand what they have to do to get there. So they break it down into manageable pieces. Guys, we do this in the fire sector, in the fire business all the time. Think about it. You get a huge factory fire. What's the first thing command does? Sector it off. Yes, of course you do. There's a ventilation sector. There's an interior fire crew sector. You know, there's a pump sector, water supply, whatever you want to call it. But you take a monumental task and you sector it down. So what these successful people would do, essentially, they would use their mornings, well, to get ready for the battle they were about to go up against. Yeah, that's how they would view their days. Not saying for a second that their days were every day a battle, but the fact is they prepared themselves. They really start to understand that, guys, the stronger the foundation you have, the more you can press yourself. All right, the more you can extend yourself, because the stronger a foundation, well, the better you can handle yourself in a storm. Look, I don't think you have to be an architect to understand. Look, a house can be absolutely gorgeous, but if it's got a shitty foundation, buddy, it's coming down first storm that hits it, right? Human beings are no different. Look, you can take somebody with 2% body fat that looks like $1,000,000, but if they got a shaky foundation, buddy, you'll rock them in a second. The first thing that will happen, they'll collapse. But you take somebody who has a strong foundation, buddy, they're hard to rock. And that's what these successful people realize, is that they up their odds. The more prep they put into the day, the more they up their odds. Now, when I started to really research this, I started to think, you know what, holy shit, you can use this against depression, anxiety, and PTSD. You really can. Like, there's no doubt that you can prepare yourself for the exact same way that these successful people did for every single day. Now, look, here's a real disadvantage, okay? Because PTSD really affects people's sleep. And I'm sure right from the word go, there's a few of you that are watching this going, okay, look, Carl, this all sounds great, but you know what? The mornings, it's just too hard, right? I never said this was easy. I didn't, right? It's possible, but I never said it was easy. The fact is that it's like a muscle, right? No different than when you first start working out, it hurts. Right? It certainly does, right? There's no doubt. But the more you get used to it, the more you build that foundation, like I said. And when you start to understand just how important a foundation is, guys, you start to understand that the springboards to each day, to each day, to each day. Okay, so look, check this out, for instance. This is just an example, okay? Let's say you have to be at work for 7 o'clock in the morning. Not so bad. Okay, so anyways, you wake up and you look at your alarm clock. Do people even have alarm clocks anymore? Anyways, no, doesn't matter, right? But the fact is, you look at your alarm clock and it says 6:45. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you live 20 minutes away from work. Yeah, so the fact is you're going to be late. So you wake up and you give it the old, oh shit, classic AM PM routine, right? You know, you probably screwed up your alarm. You jump up, you grab the uniform that you threw down in the corner of the room the night before, right? You don't even have time to brush your teeth or throw some sweet pit on. You smell atrocious. But it doesn't matter. You're late for work. You don't grab yourself something to eat. You jump in your car. You race to work. Halfway on the way to work, you remember you were supposed to come in 15 minutes early for a guy because his kid was playing hockey. Now you feel like a total dick. So on the way to work, you blow through a yellow. It turns red. I don't know why. Nice Mr. Police Officer. He pulls you over because he has to and gives you a ticket because that's his job. Okay, that's no problem. Anyways, you show up for work 20 minutes late. Your captain's pissed off, right? The guy that you were supposed to relieve early 15 minutes is beyond pissed off. I wouldn't be asking for too many favors or paybacks from him anytime soon, right? The fact is that your day has started out like a bag of shit. Now let me ask you something. How's the day going to continue after that? Well, it's probably just going to keep rolling downhill, right? Now, look, let me ask you this scenario. Let's say you have to work at 7 o'clock, but this time you get up at 5 in the morning. Ooh, that's foul. Think about it, right? But just for the purpose of the story, let's say you do it. You get up, you walk into the washroom, you go to have a shower, right? And you know what? After the water starts hitting you, okay, you don't feel too bad, right? You get out of the shower, you brush your teeth, you play a little Milli Vanilli. Why? Because it makes me smile in the morning. There's nobody else in there, right? So anyways, I'm feeling a bit chipper. I come downstairs, I make myself a healthy breakfast. Have yourself some eggs and toast. And V8. Did you know there's 2 servings of vegetables in every can? That's phenomenal. So anyways, you have this, you watch a few cartoons in the morning, a little Phineas and Ferb, because it is clever humor. It really is. You know what? While you're thinking about it, you're like, oh shit, that's right, I'm supposed to be in early. You leave a little bit early. On the way, you stop in at Timmy's. You get a dozen sinkers and some coffee. Why? Because you're a wonderful person. You show up 5 minutes early for the guy that you were supposed to relieve. He thinks you're incredible. The next crew thinks you're even better because you brought coffee and donuts in. Now, let me ask you something. How's that day going to play out? Well, it's going to be a little bit different, isn't it? Yeah, because that foundation's stronger. You're in a better mood. You're more prepared and more durable for what's going to happen to you that day because you've set yourself up for it. Now, look, the $54,000 question here is it worth getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Well, I can tell you one thing. Your brain and your body is going to say, fuck no. Stay in bed, be late, have everybody pissed off of you. But your soul, your spirit, your inner you, well, that one stands back and looks at it and goes, yeah, you know what? It sucks getting up at 5, but if we do this hard stuff now, the rest of the day is going to play out pretty easy. That's the one you have to listen to, right? Because the problem is you're going to listen to the other one all the time, right? And that's really what happens with this. And guys, I want to let you in on a secret of something that I didn't understand, and I really want to apply it to you guys. Let's say we take that day where you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you went to work, and you know what? Everybody thinks you're a rock star because you're in a good mood. And you know what? Bottom line, you're more centered. Right? You don't have the anxiety because you're not worrying about the future, right? You're not thinking about the past, so depression's not really having a go at you, but you're centered. You'd have a good, healthy breakfast, right? You smell good. Yeah, that's going to improve your day right there. But the fact is, on that day, it worked out good. You get home that night, you're absolutely knackered because you've been up at 5 and you're in bed by 10 o'clock. Now, what do you say we do the same thing the next day? And what if we do the same thing the third day? Well, that's 3 days in a row, isn't it, of half decent days? Because for the simple reason, guys, you know what? We're more prepared. Now, if we take those 3 days and we add another 4 to it, that gives us a week, doesn't it? Yeah, right. And if we take that week and we add 4 of them together, guess what? You've got yourself a month. You see, the thing is, guys, everybody's looking for a good couple of days. Oh, I wish I could just get a good day. I wish I could get a good day. How do you guys feel about a good month? You guys ready for that yet? Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Well, that's how you obtain it. Now, look, I'm not saying that in that month when you get up early that nothing bad is going to happen, right? That just because you're getting up, the universe loves you and nothing bad's going to happen to you. But I'll tell you what, when the ass end falls out of it, you're going to be more prepared. You're going to have a stronger foundation. And the thing is, the more that you prepare your body to do this, the more it adapts it. Now, look, guys, if that's not enough motivation, this might be. See, the problem is if you don't take the latter of the two examples there and you stick with the first one, your brain's going to consider that normal. Yeah, and that'll become status quo for you, right? You'll see no benefit to ever doing that. And that's the problem. That's the rut I was in. Is that I didn't see any benefit to it. The mornings were painful, so you know what? I tried to avoid them instead of trying to run at them. Until I started to realize that, okay, look, if I get up earlier, even though this is harder, guys, this is making me more durable, right? It means I can withstand more pressure. Because look, PTSD, depression, anxiety is going to throw a whack of shit at you. Like, seriously, it really is. And if you're not a durable person, guys, it can make you crack. And what I mean by crack is, I don't know, scream at your kid when you're not supposed to. Right? You know, just because you were frustrated and edgy, you know, you lost it on your kid, or maybe you lost it on somebody at work that you shouldn't have. That's what I'm talking about. See, the thing is, when we set ourselves up from the morning, this makes us more durable. Yeah, bottom line. The thing is that the more that is thrown at us, the more we can handle. You know, I always hear people talk about how, you know, serious PTSD, depression, anxiety is. The thing is I think the people that suffer from it have to recognize what they're up against. This is a serious fucking contender. Like, seriously, this is something that you do not want to play with. And trust me, if you're going to fight something like this, you need to be ready. Look, if I may apply to the gym rats out there, ladies and gentlemen, the ones out there that go to the gym all the time, what happens to an individual that goes into a gym without any stretching, any preparation, lies down on the bench, tells people to put 3 plates on each side, and gets it off the bar? You know what's going to happen? It's going to go bang, bang, shoulders are going to go, it's going to go across the throat and crush you, right? Because you haven't prepared. Well, the thing is, guys, we have to look at the days in the exact same way. The more that we can prepare for them, guys, the more we'll be ready for stuff that happen. Now, look, I'll be honest with you. I tried this once before, this whole power of the morning. Back in 2008, if you can believe it. Yeah, it was when the movie The Secret came out. Buddy, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Look, I didn't think for a second that if I sat here and closed my eyes and just thought about a Ferrari, it would show up in my driveway. But I truly believe that thoughts manifest into things. I believe that. And if you think about something enough, well, you'll get an idea, won't you? Right? Or you'll get an insight into something, and it'll help you get to it closer. So you know what? I thought, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get up in the morning, right? But the thing was, yeah, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but you know what I did? I just sat there because I thought the universe would reward me and say, okay, Carl, here's a better life because you got up early. Mistakes were made. Well, you know what? What are you going to do, right? But the fact is that I didn't realize how we built on these days, right? Because the one thing that I really found with successful people, famous people, if you will, in this category here, actors, actresses, all that stuff, right, is that a lot of these people, well, they deal with anxiety and depression on a daily basis. And this happens for the simple reason, guys, they're always pushing borders. Like, seriously, you can only imagine how much guts it takes to go after something when everybody's telling you you can't do it. And it's impossible. And that nobody's ever accomplished that before. And that you trying to do it is probably going to kill you. Like, seriously, these guys up their odds because they know what they're up against. And when they know they're going to come up against this depression or anxiety, guys, they try to make themselves as strong as they can. They really do. They know what they want to accomplish is monumental. No different than what I wanted to accomplish was monumental. Because as far as I was concerned, it was too big. I couldn't do it. But these successful people, they know what they're going up against and they prepare themselves every single day. And I think we can do this with PTSD, depression, anxiety. Well, I don't think, I know. Right? Because this is something that I implemented. And once I started to understand this whole piggybacking day after day after day, I understood the power of the morning. And once you understand that, dude, you can own days. Yeah, seriously. Stuff that you didn't think you could handle before, trust me, you can handle it. Look, you want to know another reason why famous and successful people love the morning so much? Well, there's nobody to fuck with you. Yeah, seriously, everybody's in bed. It's perfect. Look, when I really got onto this concept of the power of the morning, buddy, it was grind time for me. I would get up at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, and I'd walk the dog. Sure, why not? Trust me, there is nobody out at 4:30 in the morning. Nobody. It's like you have the entire planet to yourself. I come back here, I get my workout in, I'd be sat here at this computer at 6 o'clock in the morning. Dude, I could get in 4 hours before anybody even got up. And you know what I found really, really interesting about that? You can start manipulating time. I know that sounds really, really weird. But the fact that I was getting up 4 hours extra early every single day, it was like I was picking up an extra day every week. Yeah, my work week was 8 hours, was 8 work days. Right? Not 7. Because I would get up that much earlier. And it was amazing to me the dividends that I could pay. And guys, I'm sorry, but that's what really gave this whole bunker gear for your brain a shot in the arm, was the fact that I just piggybacked off each day. Instead of just looking at it and going, okay, I want to come up with a successful show that helps people, right? I was like, okay, I need to accomplish this, then I need to accomplish this. And the thing is, if we do this with our day-to-day lives, guys, I really think we can really start taking a dent out of this PTSD, depression, anxiety. I really do. And guys, look, if you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, okay, and you do this, you exercise this right that all human beings have to apply themselves in this fashion. Look, guys, even if nothing incredible happens that day, dude, you're still going to have a better day than you did any other day, right? It completely and utterly improves your odds. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. But the fact is like I said, people in the emergency services, correctionals, Coast Guard, the military, look, none of these people mind working hard. Like, they don't. They're some of the hardest workers on the planet. And people with mental health can tolerate more pain than pretty much anybody I've met, right? And the thing is that the more that you go after this, okay, and you don't look for that outcome, guys, this is when we really start accomplishing things. And this is what like I said, I found with this. And I really think if you apply this to your life with this mental health thing, at least it gives you a fighting chance. Because like I said, this stuff is going to throw a whack of shit at you. And the more stable that I can make you guys, well, that just makes me feel better. You know what I'm getting at, right? Because the last thing I want to do is wind everybody up with motivation and then kick them out of the chopper, right? Seriously, and say, go and fight when they're not totally prepared. So guys, if you can really utilize this power of the morning, and please don't take my word for it. Take somebody that you really respect, like somebody that they've accomplished something, and just look at their daily plan. You'll notice these people do not sleep in. No, they don't. They set themselves up for whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. And like I said, guys, I think this is an enormous tool for us with mental health, PTSD, depression, all that jazz. So guys, how's my time? Oh my God, is it 10 o'clock? See, this is what I do. I get all excited about the show and then I gabagoo on forever. Anyways, listen guys, that's the week of WAGs for you. I hope my little pain management helped you. Like I said, you're not going to see any funny colors on the wall or sit there like a marshmallow. Yeah, seriously, that's what some of those pain medications do to you. I felt them, right? No, these things are, well, it's there to wake you up. right? And it's there to make you realize that, guys, there is actually stuff worth fighting for. Because this depression, anxiety, PTSD will constantly tell you that it's not worth a scrap, and that is, well, that's really scary, right? We don't want to do that. So, guys, what have I got for you next week? Oh, a very sexy week indeed. Yes, we're talking about stigma all week. I don't give a shit. I'm getting in the ring with this thing. I'll tell you, everybody goes to bat against this thing, but I really want to sit down and explain it. And not only that, what it takes from everybody. Oh, it's a bastard. It's sexy, but it's a bastard. And we're going to talk about it all next week. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to have the podcast for you Sunday morning like I do every single time. And guys, if you get a chance to jump in on our Facebook show next week, I think you'll really enjoy it. Yes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Drop in and see us. It should be a blast. Like I said, very sexy show. We're talking about stigma and how it takes people's legs out. I think it's going to be quite interesting. And guys, listen, before I let you go on this Friday night, I got to mention the Bunker Room. Do you know what the Bunker Room is? Well, it's a private support group. That's really what it is. And you know what? You send me a friendship request to Carl Waggett, and I'll send you an invitation to the Bunker Room. Easy peasy. It's really simple. And you know what? You can go in there and read about what people are kind of battling with this PTSD, depression, anxiety, because, well, quite frankly, it helps with perspective. And I think if it helps with perspective, guys, I think we should be looking into it. So if that sounds like something that's in your wheelhouse, guys, give me a dingle, and you know what? I'll send an invitation your way. So guys, there you have it. It's a week of WAGs for a little bit of pain management. Don't forget you can reinvent yourself. I don't give a shit what depression's telling you. You can. All you got to do is decide what it is that you truly love and chase it. It's a wonderful feeling. It really is. Second off, guys, look, I'm telling you, if you're done with people, as I was for a little bit, put an animal on that job. It's amazing what it can do for you. And guys, look, I know this sucks, but this power of the morning, guys, too many successful people are doing this. Like, seriously. And I think if we can take this concept and we can apply it to mental health, guys, it can give you that springboard to get out of this terrible dark hole that you're in. Because, guys, as we all know, we don't accomplish anything first time off. It's a process. And as long as we understand how to do that, we can capitalize on it and win. So, guys, I hope to see you guys next week for our sexy week of stigma. Oh, listen, you got to have a giggle at it, because as soon as something scares you and you laugh at it, it thinks, what the fuck does this guy know? I tell you, it works every single time. It's a treat. You should try it sometimes. So anyways, guys, there you go. Let me let you go, because you know I get all excited. I'm going to grab myself a soda pop, and then I'll jump back in the comment section here, and we can have a little talk about what we were talking about. Anyways, you guys take care of yourself, and as always, thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday night. You guys take care. Bye now.